Hey, welcome back. In this video I'll show you how you can make ChatGPT make the code for you. So, here in the right we have the Turing deal application with the rentability of each stock right here and the drawdown. And we also have actually the price in the state machine of this application. So I will use the data that already exists in the application to create a new portfolio screen that already have some data right here. I will explain what this data is about. So here we are seeing the portfolio widget that already have a portfolio allocation that have a list of stocks like you are seeing right here, and for each stock have the end price, if it's selected or not, and how much percentage of the portfolio does the ticker S. Okay, so to make ChatGPT make the code for us, let's come here and paste the code that we want to give him as context. Okay, so we want to pass the user portfolio class, and we also want to pass the portfolio allocation, and we want a way like with some switchers create a portfolio widget that lets the user select how much percentage of the portfolio does he has in each stock, in each ticker. I will explain a bit so we can actually create something. So I will explain that the portfolio allocations map should have if is selected or not. So we need a switcher to select the stocks to enter our portfolio, and when it's selected we should have then we should have a different screen. I guess right here we should just select which stocks enter in our portfolio. So we'll divide like step by step what we want the ChatGPT to code for us, because there is one important thing we actually should know when we interact with this type of AI. That is that he has like a limited amount of data that he can receive and a limited amount of data he can return. So it's like a fixed matrix. And that's a bit why when you pass like to an AI model an image, like a medical image, you'll just get to him the amount of data he really needs to have. You'll not give him like too much information to don't confuse him, and because like these sizes are limited actually. So he's now printing a lot of text explaining everything. Okay, he's creating a stateless widget, so we already know he's doing something wrong, because like if it's a stateless widget you cannot update anything, and he's creating a form that for each ticker in the portfolio Oh, but that's a neat solution, yeah. He creates a row with the ticker and the switch. That's not bad at all. Like, we can also create the part and fix. But I will ask him, yeah, and this expand. Okay, okay. So he's creating like everything for us. Like, that's very nice, yeah. So I guess it just needs to be a stateful. That's a mistake that it does a lot of times. Yeah, stop generating. And yeah, I want a stateful widget. So let's revise the code while it's generating. So inside this children of the column, so this needs to be inside the single shot scroll view. That's already an error, but yeah, it created the entire UI. Like, we can have the ticker, we can have the switch, and we have the text, so we can set how much do we want to have in each part. That's actually very, very cool, yeah. And like, if you want to add something after, like, if you, as Flutter is so composable, it's actually a great technology to use with ChatGPT, because like you can divide the context that you want to have in different widgets and ask him for one widget at a time. Because if you ask him for you to deliver the entire application, like, he will not do it. Or at some point, when you ask too much stuff, he starts a prompt and then just breaks in the middle. Okay, so he forgot the no safety part. Okay, let's see how it's working. Okay, so we can edit this part. But actually, we want a slider. It's no, we can have the amount of allocations right there. Why is it disappearing? Let me take the form out, remove this widget. For some reason the keyboard is disappearing. Text form field expanded. Maybe I do have some media query somewhere that is triggering a re-render of everything when the keyboard appears. Let me check, yeah. Yeah, what is triggering a re-render? Okay. Maybe it is the screen that is calling the portfolio screen. Let's check if we have a media query here. Yeah, we do have a media query here. And it's probably this one that is triggering the re-render when this appears. So we can also use like a slider for now, because to avoid this problem we will need to create something like, can also solve like reusing the widget, like instead of, if we take this unique key out, like it will not rebuild. Let me check. Yeah, now it's not rebuilding, but yeah, I need to have a single shell scroll view. so it doesn't overflow. We put right here, single child scroll view. Okay, so here we can select. Oh, we went back. That's actually fun. That is loses the state because we are using provider and also using this set state. So it's not really keeping the state yet. Now we got an error trying to format this one. Yeah, these errors are quite normal because like you are trying to parse something that it's not really a number, so it's right here. We are trying to parse something that is not parsable, and yeah. So as you can see, ChatGPT generated an entire functional screen where you can select how much stock do you have in each one of the stocks, and it's quite impressive. Like, of course, you will need to do some work, like to make this stuff. Maybe you need some margin right here, and you need to integrate to create all the business logic and all the stuff that really needs context and knowledge of your application. But for the boilerplate, that is really dummy. Like, you can just use something like this. For example, I can ask him that if I start to write something right here, I should for example, right here, if the new value is 0, it should deselect, and if it's it should deselect, and if it's some integer, it should, if really have some value, it should select. Okay, so let's create also this logic. So I'll ask him to change this method. So change this method so when it's 0, set is selected to false, and set it to true otherwise. Oh, but I forgot to get the code. Okay, it's giving some error. Let's refresh. Okay, I'm a human, ChatGPT. Let's come back here to the last chat so we can get all the context he already got from us, and let's paste this code so we can make some code for us. This is an example of the onchanged. This is an example of what I was telling you before. Like, if you ask him for a single method, like, you can save a lot of time because he's not like printing all this stuff, and yeah, it's more focused. When you have too much stuff, especially, yeah, it's quite good to really divide. I did not tell him to care about the no safety, so I need to care about the no safety myself. Let's put the no safe checkers right here, and right now, if we come right here and update, it's not updating, no. no not reload for us. Okay, now we got the not reload. Okay, so let's try. Okay, so we can see that it works. And yeah, like I guess another stuff that we should add in the future is like total amount of the portfolio, so the user can see how much does the entirety of the portfolio is really counting. So I will try to ask him to do it this also below. So I have here this 4, okay, and inside this column I'll calculate the total amount. So I will create here a new column and we'll create a total portfolio amount. Okay, and we'll pass him the portfolio again. This is another example that you can divide the stuff to conquer. Like I will create this widget right here. We'll receive the same parameter, the portfolio, and will also be as I'll create first a stateless widget and I will convert it. This one needs to have the right constructor. Total portfolio amount is missing the build. Okay, so I'll ask him to create a stateful widget this time, so it doesn't create a stateless widget. Return this total portfolio amount into a stateful widget and return in a build method the sum of all allocations, amounts. That amounts means means the, what does it means? Share of portfolio. No, actually I should call him number of shares. Yes, number of shares. Okay, so I will ask him to, that means number of shares multiplied by end price. Okay, let's see if he can get what do we really want. While he's printing the code right here, I will come back here and move this to a different file. Okay, so total portfolio amount will be in a different file. Okay, we need the same imports. Let's lazily import the same imports right here. Quite nice. Okay, let's total portfolio amount. Okay, portfolio is coming from the widget, not really right like that. Okay, so let's come back to ChatGPT. In the init state, it calculates the amount, and then why is doing in a oh, I asked him to do a stateful widget. No, it was really dumb. This should actually I want a stateless widget. Yeah, it's really dumb to have something like this in a stateful widget, because the set state right here should update the widget immediately. So yeah, it was okay. So now he's doing the total. Yeah, it makes sense. It really makes sense. Okay, let's try and see if it works. Okay, total portfolio amount. Now we can come back here and start to adding some stuff. Now you can see that we have the XLI, two stocks of the XLI. Let's see how much does it has. XLI. We don't have the end price in this screen, but we have it right here. And yeah, it really looks like he's doing the right thing. So the close price is 102. Okay, let's also check, for example, if we also add an XLU with an end price of 71. Okay, so let's check. So if we come back right here, and that is one is working fine, and if we add like this, it looks like it can calculate. It gives you this error because it's trying to parse like an empty string, but that's like the easy problems to solve, like coming right here, and if value equals to empty, just return. Of course, you still need to learn to know how to code and to do something that makes sense, but like this stuff can really help you to reach an amount of productivity, because if you can see, like, we created 70 lines and 20 right here, and really with very little effort, just explaining him what we want to achieve. And if we divide the stuff and ask ChatGPT part by part, it can really help and make us more productive. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you next time.